Hey guys, welcome back to more clickbait. Hopefully you can see me. This is how bad I've actually gotten worse at doing this as far as recording. But thank you for listening to the Not My Journal podcast. This is more clickbait. And today's episode you can find exclusively on Spotify. That's the Not My Journal podcast by Andre Newman. For some reason, you have to type in the whole thing out, either Andre Newman, ANDRE. Well, if you found the video, you can you can find me on Spotify. Um, I react to everyone's reaction to the Grammys. I give LeBron James his flowers for becoming the all-time leading scorer in NBA history, and then I ask the question: what's offensive, or what's more so, what's not offensive? We'll start with my reaction to everyone's reaction to the Grammys. I want to give kudos to Beyonce for winning, to Lizzo for winning her first Grammy, to Adele for winning, a bunch of other people. But as I said in the Spotify episode, I don't watch the Grammys, so everyone's freak out about it doesn't make a lot of sense to me because I don't care for the Grammy. Like, if I don't care for the Grammys, I don't watch the performance. So I don't understand why everyone's so upset. I didn't even know the Grammys was going on until I saw everyone getting upset about it. So it's a really weird time in society we've got to where uh, even some of my friends who didn't watch it as well, they just watched the videos of people being upset about it, and it's like, can you believe this? And I asked, well, why do you care? And then he was like, well, what about the kids? I was like, did you watch the Grammys? It's like, no. Did your kids watch the Grammys? No. So then what are you talking about? Like, what is this conversation we're about to have right now? Like I listen to Sam Smith. I've seen a lot of his videos, which, from my understanding, are much more intense than his Grammy performance. So if you don't like Sam Smith, don't watch it. Like, I listen to Joe Rogan. I listen to Legion of Skanks. I listen to Ari Shaffir. I listen to Amy Winehouse. I listen to DMX. I listen to Jay-Z. I listen to A Tribe Called Quest. For the people that don't want to hear it, don't listen to it. We've gotten to, if you don't like a movie, or you think a movie is going to be offensive or too woke or too conservative or too religious, too army propaganda, don't watch it. We've really gotten to a weird spot right now, so I just wanted to acknowledge that. I discussed that more in depth on the podcast. Also, congrats to LeBron James becoming an all-time leading scorer. He passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I talk about how many more years do I think LeBron has to play at such a high level. Obviously, his defense has slipped a lot, but you know at this point, no one cares. It's pretty much gravy on top of his legacy. Maybe he'll get one more ring. Who knows? That's an interesting conversation I get into. And also, as far as the recent Joe Rogan controversy, he's being talked about because he made an off-color Jewish joke. I think a Jewish joke that people were upset by, and I was like, all because he was trying to defend Ilhan Omar, a politician, because she said something about all about the Benjamins in reference to something with Israel, and they took it as anti-Semitic. And Joe Rogan was like, "How's that anti-Semitic? Jewish people like money, like Italian people like spaghetti and pizza." And I get what he was trying to say clumsily, but is it really that offensive? Like I talk about in the episode, one of the people asked their co-host, "Well, do you think Joe Rogan's anti-Semitic?" And they said no. And they said, "Then what are we talking about here?" Like, I really think that all of this is clickbait, which is they're all still in my idea, or I'm still in their idea. You just use Joe Rogan's name, you put it in the clickbait title, and then people respond to it. And, you get more views. I know that because I do that to get the few views that I get on my stuff. For the record, my shorts seem to do pretty well, much more than the listens on Spotify. So hopefully I can convert, or not convert, but siphon a lot of the people from YouTube and get them to Spotify, because obviously I have no idea what I'm doing as far as the video quality. Anyone want to comment in the comments and maybe help me out or give some advice, free advice, hopefully? But thank you. So I just have a much more longer and somewhat deeper, or not really deep, more of a shallow conversation about, are we too thin skinned? What is offensive? How far is the line? Because if we're getting mad at comedians or just people on podcasts in general saying things offensive, how long before we get mad at music? I got news for you. Like I said, I listen to DMX, I listen to Jay-Z, I listen to Tribe Called Quest. They say the F word pretty freely. They talk about Jewish people pretty freely. Are we about to pull their music from Spotify? You know, the Goodfellas, people were offended by that. So you can go pretty much. What do people that are offended by stuff like this, what do they watch? I'm really curious. Like, who do you listen to? And I'm really curious about what doesn't offend you. That's what I'd like to talk about. But thank you for listening. Again, go to Spotify, the Not My Journal podcast. I don't even think you need to type in the. It's just Not My Journal podcast by Andre Newman, or you can just type out my name, Andre Newman. Give the podcast a listen. Hope you like it. Enjoy the journey. Thank you.